got some special guests from Jamerson Lewis. They are a commercial construction company here in the area serving all Central Virginia. They stay local. They're proud to say that their workers don't have to go stay in hotels. They get to stay close to home. And they're doing killer work, and they have a lot of opportunity. So they're here to share a little bit about the opportunities that you guys could potentially have in your future. So first, I'll let them introduce themselves, and then we'll kind of talk about what they have for you. All right, let's start.
I'm Farron Holland. I'm in charge of the field operations at Jamerson Lewis Construction.
I'm Mike Schneider. I am a project manager for Jamerson Lewis. I manage the projects from conception to completion.
I'm Kane Marks, Director of Client Solutions, Business Development, Client Retention, and Recruiting.
Very cool. So can you explain what the company does a little bit? I guess what kind of projects you do?
We do all sorts of projects. Our projects dollar amounts range from anywhere from $5,000 to $50 million. We do a lot of educational facilities like Heritage High School. We finished a project in Bedford County, the new Jefferson Forest Middle School, Jefferson Forest High School. We did the Liberty High School. Done a lot of work at University of Lynchburg. We do a lot of commercial work at CD Fleet, Abbott Labs, various projects.
Yeah, healthcare is a big one. Industrial, as he's mentioned. About, I think a little over 50% of our business is educational. Right. That's K through 12 and higher ed.
Very cool. So big commercial jobs. How much you guys are doing a lot of work, and the future's looking good from what I heard.
Yeah, currently we have a $108 million backlog. So yeah, we're pretty good for the next year and a half or so.
So you got a lot of work coming down the pipeline.
And coming through the pandemic, you know, other people struggled, other companies went out of business, and then we turn around and we have averaged $85 million a year in annual sales through all of that and the year previous to the pandemic.
So, and we've been growing because our company was born of two different companies, one of C.L. Lewis and J. Jamerson. We merged in 2014, and both our companies were doing around $35–40 million a year. So we've been able to maintain and grow that. So we're doing well.
Yep. Very cool. Can you share your story a little bit of how you became superintendent for us?
Yeah, so in the late 90s, I went to the Vo-Tech school at Bedford County. I graduated in 97 and then went to college for some community classes and stuff. And then in 2001, I went to work for a company called LG Flynn and worked with some of the old guys. They taught me, numerous tricks of the trade. And then in 2002, I went to go work for J.E. Jamerson, and within 6 months, they promoted me to superintendent. My first job was Neighbor's Restaurant in Windhurst, if any of you know that. And then from there, I was superintendent until 2013, and then was promoted to project manager, and I've been doing that ever since.
So what was it you think that allowed you to skip through pretty quickly to go from carpenter?
It's my desire to do it. I really enjoy construction, and I like getting my hands dirty. And as a superintendent, I was a working superintendent, so I guess just my drive to succeed and make sure the project was successful.
Very cool. So,
like your slogan says, show up, work hard, be honest.
I'll get you there. So coming in, what would it kind of look like for students coming in? What are they going to be starting out as if they were to come work for you guys?
Well, depending on the level that you come out of here, I would imagine that you would come out here as an experienced helper, working on the job sites, assisting the carpenters, learning the commercial trade from the carpenters that we have on our crews.
So if you notice the term used, he said you're going to come in as a helper. Really great model in their company. Everyone's sharing the laborer work. So as the new guys, the young kid, you aren't the one stuck with the wheelbarrow or the shovel in your hand. They kind of share the load, and they want to see you excel and move up and become a skilled worker, become a skilled carpenter. They don't want to just keep you at that bottom stage and just use you as labor. They were trying to get you up the system quickly because they want to see you guys skilled. So it's a really sweet model. Hearing them talk about it versus how I started out in the trades. So from class, what kind of skills are you hoping that they have? What's going to help them succeed?
Well, they should have the skills of using power tools, reading a tape line, math skills. Those three things right there are the three most important things to me if I'm interviewing somebody for a job.
So using tools safely, ability to read tape measure, probably I was adding reading level, and those basic math skills, just adding, tracking those fractions and doing a couple measurements and things you'll be learning in class how to do.
And work ethic, you know, a person that wants to learn more, a person that's just not just standing there waiting for somebody to just give them an order or find them to help them do something. Somebody that's got the drive to come to work and want to succeed on their own.
And what's cool, getting that opportunity to keep succeeding and moving forward, if they have a system, if you show up and you do have the work ethic, if you have that drive, they're going to promote you and move you into the next stages. In-house. So you were saying most of your guys, talking earlier, your advancements is in-house, correct?
Correct, yes. So, yeah, and then I'm an example of that because I started out as a laborer, carpenter, or helper carpenter, and then worked my way up to project management.
Right. So. You know, and my story is, you know, I started out as a laborer, helper, carpenter, moved up to a superintendent. I have worked for multiple companies. I did not come from C.O. Lewis or Jamerson, but I have moved all the way through, and these people trust me to work directly under the owners of the company to help on projects, to help at a higher level, and to seek out new talent for employment.
Cool. So, the question I know you guys always want to know is, what's the pay going to look like, and what kind of benefits are we looking at? So, whoever wants to share.
Kane, you're in business development.
Well, why don't you start with the pay first?
Okay. So the carpenter helpers, we look at starting anywhere between 34 and to make upwards of $55,000 a year. From there, then we look at foremen, who typically will run a small crew of guys underneath the superintendent. They can make anywhere from $36,000 to $60,000 a year. And then our superintendents, who manage the day-to-day activities on the projects, they would make anywhere from $40,000 to $120,000. We have a project up there at UVA right now. It's a $50 million project, and that's superintendent, so somewhere in that area, around 120. So,
yeah. And all of those wages depend on where you want to excel to. There's really no limits, you know, but you surely can set your top pay yourself. You know, it's really all up to you.
It's the amount of hard work and effort you put into it.
And if you're coming in with those skills of math skills, with power tool skills, and
problem solving skills,
self-starting, you're looking starting at, you said like 15-ish area?
34, 35,000, somewhere.
I mean, hourly, like you're looking
at 15 bucks an hour would be a starting pay.
So starting pay, and again, this is no debt, right out of high school. You're going into this, and again, room for growth right away with no debt. If you have that work ethic, if you have that drive.
Yeah.
And on top of these numbers, yeah, you have the full line of benefits, health insurance, 401k that we match.
We don't match. It's actually just a 3%
contribution. What else?
Vacation time.
Dental and paid time off. So
and holidays.
Yes, and the holidays.
So
it's
again,
it's a nice benefits package.
And every level of our company has an annual bonus, you know, that comes with them, you know, to the smallest employee or the lowest employee that we have, you know, usually by the end of the year, when they're giving out safety awards for people that do not have a missed time injury due to work or a safety infraction. So everybody gets a bonus at the end of the year, you know, at whatever level that person is at.
Very good.
And also superintendents, they're given a company truck, which they're allowed to take home with them at night. I've had a company truck since I've been 22, and I probably put maybe 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year in my car. The rest of it's all on the company truck, so that's a nice benefit to have.
Right.
Speaking of safety, what's basic uniform they're looking at? Are they wearing the high-vis vest, everything all the time, or what's the basic setup?
Correct. Hard sole work shoes, no tennis shoes, long pants, high-vis t-shirt or safety vest, hard hat, safety glasses. That's normal PPE. Yeah. In your personal protective equipment, all of it is provided by the company.
Very
cool. Let's see. Any other questions? What's the favorite job that you have worked on in the company?
Mine would probably be Neighbor's Restaurant. It was my first one, so it's got a little sweet spot.
That's so Neighbor's Place.
Yeah, it was an $800,000 project, and I remember the project manager at the time saying how lucky I was to have a project of that size at such a young age. A lot of superintendents wait till further on in their career to have a project like that. So anyways, that was got a sweet spot for me.
For mine, we had a superintendent a couple of years ago pass away, and I took his job over because we didn't have anybody available. It was a $20 million job at Longwood University, and it was the academic facility there. It was very in-depth and detailed, a real hard architect to work with, but I have never in my career worked on a job with that much detail and that much carpentry work inside of a commercial building.
So something I don't want to forget to mention, you guys also offer a internship program for over the summers, which they hire 16-year-olds. You don't have to be 18. So they're going to explain a little bit what that looks like.
Correct. So the program is 12 weeks, 6 weeks in the field, 6 weeks in the office. The 6 weeks in the office, you do 3 weeks with an estimator, and 3 weeks with project manager, and then 6 weeks in the field under a superintendent.
Is this all paid internship?
Yes, it is competitive pay.
The other side of that is if a person is not interested in the office, if all they want to do is work for the summer, we do hire summer help to put them on jobs for the weeks that you are out of school.
So
at the age of 16 and over.
So that's different than a lot of companies who are waiting until you're 18. They're going to be hiring you guys for summer work. Learn the skills, and you're already have your foot in the door. You get those skills. So out of high school, again, up their chain, you guys are going to move even faster. And I really like that internship because you can see opportunities and what it looks like. The construction world is huge in the office. It's not just all hard manual labor. There's a lot of that side of things that you can get very successful in construction on that side as well as out in the field, get your hands dirty. Anything else that I forgot to ask you guys or want to share with us?
Other than the fact that we've left a lot of literature here, there's applications in the literature that we left, and there's also a lot of data in there that tells you about the company and the two companies that we came from. I just encourage you to read that material, and it'll tell you a little bit about the company and what we strive to be, because Jamerson Lewis absolutely wants to be the premier commercial contractor in the area. And to be that, we got to be able to do the best jobs, provide the best quality, and employ the best people to do that.
Yeah, if you're interested in an internship, fill out the application and just write internship on the top.
Yep. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us.
In the pamphlets, there's 3 cards in there. There's King Mark's card, and then there's a card in there for me being in charge of the field operations and hiring people, and Mike Snyder as a project manager.
So this is just a brief snippet about Jamerson Lewis. I highly recommend if you're interested in getting into construction, commercial, check these guys out. They're a growing company. They have a vision. They have a plan to continue to grow and get better, and they are devoted to taking care of their employers because they know, or not employees, because they know if they take care of you guys, you'll help them out. And they want to be that premier company. So that's their goal.
Right.
So I encourage you, if you're interested, don't waste this opportunity. Take advantage of it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.